G'day my succies, it's JazzyQ7 here, back at it again with another video, but guess what? I have my microphone back! Yay! Yeah, so pretty much they went and helped me out, and I'm going to put an image right here of the ending result where they said it was broken in 2 ways, just because of the moisture. Crazy stuff, and it's all good now, so you can hear me clearly again. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day today. It's supposed to be a good day, because I said so, and let's get on with the video. So as you guys probably know, my sleep schedule has been getting more and more messed up as time goes on, especially with night shifts. It's getting kind of to the point where I keep staying up really late. For instance, now it's 4 AM in the morning, but I'm not tired at all. But yeah, it's what it is, and yesterday, when I was going in for my fire service, like my country fire service, like weekly training meetup, I heard, like, I was chatting with one of the people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be showing fire trucks to kiddos tomorrow in the kindergarten, the like local one." So I was like, "Hell yeah, I think I'm gonna go join them." So that's what today's really based off. What I actually got up to. This is what I'm gonna be talking about today. So the day started off after, my daily video upload, because, 4 AM is the time that I upload, or 3 AM in Australia. And then I went off to bed, and I had to wake up at 9 o'clock, or a bit earlier than 9, to actually head in. And surprisingly, I was really awake. I got up, I was perfectly awake, and I was ready to teach some kids some things about firefighting and safety and protection and stuff. Because, as you may know, I am a firefighter. I do help the local towns and stuff with any issues that go on. But obviously, I'm just beginning because I'm not that old. And if I was older, I'd be in the fire service for way longer. But it's just not possible all the time. So in the morning, I woke up, got into the shower with cold water. Because cold water makes you really awake, guys. It's a fun fact. It'll slap you harder than a brick, but in a good way. So you'll be ready to start your day with like a strong attitude and ready for work, So in this case, I was ready to go. I headed off in my car, only like 2 minutes down the road, got into my gear, and we were off, ready to show some kiddos what everything was about, like, and how to do it. So I went in like a small squad of people. There's one girl, she's 30 years old, and another guy who is a retired person. So he's, let's call him Robert. Robert is, 60, I think 50, around there. So he's not heaps old, but, he's off for a day, so he can, go and he can help out pretty much any time because he's retired, of course. So we got our gear on, headed on the truck, and headed over to the kindergarten. And I haven't been to a kindergarten in years, so it's kind of been a bit weird for me. Obviously, the last time I went to a kindergarten was when I was actually in kindergarten. So a lot had changed. For instance, like, the safety had been increased for kids, just generalized stuff so they don't smash their heads and break their skulls or whatever. And they have a lot of tablets, which is kind of, like, surprising. I remember when I was a kid, all they had was, like, one computer, and no one could barely use it. Like, it was just pretty much a fantasy kind of thing for anyone to be using it for longer than, 5 minutes, but without having another kid take over and start up MS Paint all over again. So pretty much we walked into the kindergarten, and the first thing we walked into was a bunch of kids just staring at us with these beaming faces. They were like so keen to, see these fire trucks, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's firemen!" And I was pretty like stoked at it, but I also remembered when I was that age, I used to do the same thing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's a doctor. Oh my gosh, it's, a mechanic." All of this stuff was crazy to me, and obviously it was crazy to them as well. So when we got in, I wasn't the first to speak because I wasn't really fully understanding of what we were doing there. I more or less just tagged along for the experience. The first person to speak was the 30-year-old, and I'm going to call her Lara for this story. So what Lara said was pretty much she introduced us. So she said, "I'm Lara," and then pointed to me, and I said, "Hey, I'm Justin. Nice to meet you all." And then, yeah, etc. Then she went ahead and just asked them some basic questions. Because, like, in Australia, our emergency number, instead of 911 or whatever your country is, it's 000. So she's like, who do you call if you need some kind of safety or firefighter or, you know, the police or emergency ambulance? And they're like, 000. So obviously they all learned that at some point because I think it's really necessary. And then she's like, if there's a fire, who do you ask for? And some kid's like, the ambulance. And I think that was pretty cute. Like, the kid didn't know what was going on. And then another kid went, no, silly, it's the fire service. And yeah, it's always funny, like, when you hear kids correct each other. Then Lara said, if there's a fire on you, what do you do? And one kid said, stop, drop, and roll. And then Lara pointed at me and said, Justin's going to demonstrate it now. And so, like the Chad boy I am, I stuck my hands up in the air and said, stop! And then I said, drop! And I just dropped to the ground. And then I just rolled like a steamroller, back and forward. And it was kind of silly, but I feel no judgment from any of these people. And obviously kids enjoy a bit of entertaining movement, so I was their entertaining movement, busy just rolling around on the floor. In retrospect, thinking of it now, that's kind of gross considering all the kid bacteria, but that's fine. It was funny. I enjoyed it. There was some kids laughing, and that's what I wanted. That's what I achieved. So the next thing we did was we all headed out, and the cutest thing happened. Like, it was really sweet. What the kindergarten teacher did was pretty much got all the kids to hold hands as they walked out. And so there was one kid holding another kid's hand, and there was another kid feeling a bit left alone. He didn't have a hand to hold. So what the little kindergarten school teacher did was pretty much said, oh, you can hold his hand. And what this sassy kid on the other side did was he pretty much said, no, I've already got a partner. You can't hold my hand. And there's no filter on this kid. He just destroyed this other child. And this other child looked a bit heartbroken. And then the kindergarten teacher's like, that's not nice. You can hold his hand. And then they were holding hands, and it was, I don't know, it's just what kids do. And it was funny. Then they all trotted out like horses and whatever the kids run out like. And we went up to the fire truck, and they were like, oh my gosh, there's a truck, fire truck. And one kid then went up and said, I'm going to be a fireman when I'm older. And there's always that one kid who has to say it. Like, you don't even need him to be like there. He will say it, even if he's not there. And I don't know, I'm just fascinated about, like, seeing it from a different perspective, because I can still remember myself being in their shoes and being, like, so excited just to squirt a hose. And then, like, seeing it from my perspective, like, I've squirted, like, fireman hoses all the time. Like, I've just sprayed them, mainly in training, because it hasn't hit summer here yet. But, yeah, so, like, they're spraying this hose, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm shooting out this hose. They're all squealing and having a good old time. And it's really funny as well, because the engine of the hose, it makes like a bit of noise, and they're all having to block their ears. And busy Lara here was like, yo, maybe we shouldn't put the siren on as a demonstrator. So the next thing the kids did was they checked out the front passenger seat of the fire truck. They walked up on there and they were like, oh, this is so cool. And it was really funny because of how, like, small these kids are in comparison to the fire truck. It's like, I don't know, 6 times their height? No, I'm exaggerating there. Probably like 3 times their height. And they all struggle to get up top, so you have to, like, lift them up as they go up. And, oh, I don't know. It was really cute just to see them try and get up there. But there was one monkey kid who, like, ninja flipped up, and I was like, whoa. That is one flexible kid. They can, like, they're going to be real ninjas in the future. And as the time went on, like, they all got a shot into going in the truck, wearing some of the outfits and spraying the stuff. And then there was nothing really else we could do. And also the kids lose interest a lot quicker these days. I think with the iPads and the games, like, and videos, there's always something moving. So they were bored of it, and they were ready, and we were ready. We were pretty much done. There was nothing else we could do. And they went inside, and they all came up to us and said, "Thank you, guys." And that one kid who wanted to be a firefighter, he still wanted to be a firefighter, but he was even more happy. And it was just a quick, fun time at a kindergarten. And I just really like going and seeing this kind of stuff. The perspectives you gain from it is just amazing. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you get a little tingling in your heart about little kids, and maybe reflect back on if you played with fire hoses when you were younger. Probably not, because it's more of a local thing, especially in the town I live in. It's a country town. But yeah, it's cool, and I really just like remembering being a kid, and I really like being in my situation now where I'm seeing it from the other side. So cheers, my suckies, for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.